Hello everybody, and welcome to my playthrough of Journey to the Moon. This is not my first time playing the game. I have played and finished it, but I wanted to play it again, for your sake as well as mine. I enjoy playing this game. Let's get started.
Oof, my head. That was really rough.
That's what she said.
My memory is clouded. What happened to me? I'll understand where I am and what I'm doing here, or I'm not Michel Ardan. Looks like I'm not the only one who suffered a shock. This man seems utterly knocked out. Let me see. I'm pretty sure I know him.
It's Lincoln.
It's Barbicane, the president of the gun club, and the man at the origin of the Columbiad project.
Well, I was close.
Baltimore, October 5th, 1865. Barbicane, president of the gun club, proposes an undertaking worthy of the 19th century to build a giant cannon capable of shooting at an incredibly distant objective.
That wouldn't happen to be the moon, would it?
This cupboard is locked. An unconscious man. I recognize him.
It's Nickel.
It's Captain Nichol, the famous engineer.
Captain Nichol, a specialist in armor plating, is known for his rivalry with Barbicane, an artillery expert. Nichol claims that the gun club's project is impossible. Furious, Barbicane challenges him to a duel.
That's how they handled it in the olden days. Michel Ardan. Audacious Michel
A
Ardan.
newspaper clipping. Hey, the article talks about me.
Michel Ardan, famous French adventurer, volunteers to travel in the aluminum shell designed by President Barbicane. Michel Ardan manages to reconcile Nichol and Barbicane. "Since you're the kind of men who dare risk their lives," he says, "accompany me. You'll have front row seats to see which of you is right." So in the end, the shell is loaded in the giant cannon with 3 men on board.
Good Lord, that blue star, it's the Earth. I'm in outer space.
An enormous explosion tears the shell from the Earth's gravitational pull. Destination, the moon. On board, all the passengers have fallen unconscious.
Everything's coming back to me now. The cannon, the shell. We actually left Earth. Fantastic. We're on our way to the moon. Nichol, Barbicane, and me. I seem to be the first to ever regain consciousness. I'd better wake up the others. What's this dark stain that's spreading?
Jam?
Is my
It's
friend
supposed to
injured?
Michel Ardan briskly raises the blanket, covering his friend.
My lord, I thought Barbicane was just unconscious, but he's dead.
Whoops.
And it's not the G-forces at the launch that killed him, but a bullet right through the heart. What happened? I've got to understand just what happened. This letter is the last message my friend Barbicane wrote to me. Michel, fate dictated that Nichol and I awaken before you. We quickly realized that due to tragic negligence, we wouldn't have enough oxygen for 3.
Wow.
The letter is torn. The rest is missing.
Well, good job to you. You've killed 2 people.
After the shock of launch, President Barbicane and Captain Nichol are the first to regain consciousness. While Ardent is still out cold, the 2 men realize that because of their negligence, their oxygen supply is insufficient for 3 men. 1 alone could survive.
I'm almost ashamed to remove my worthy friend's hat. Perhaps I ought to put it back on his head.
Under the cover, Nichol is no longer breathing. He's as dead as Barbicane, but there's no visible injury.
I've lost both my friends. I'm all alone here. This rifle smells of powder. It's been fired recently.
Nichol's
they
shot
both have the
kills
same facial
Barbicane. A fitting death for the president of the gun club. When he comes to, Ardent first thinks that Barbicane and Nichol have fainted because of the violence of the launch. He soon realizes that both of his friends are dead and swears to find out exactly what happened to them.
Oh, well, let's do that then. Take that.
With a bit of string, then I could...
It's a rooster. But, what? Oh, come on.
A mono...
I don't have time for this. I'm suffocating here. I almost said drowning. Thank God for chloride of potash.
Now I seem to be breathing better. I could use a glass. Hey, here's the rooster I smuggled on board. I'd forgotten about him. I had hidden this handsome specimen of Gallinaceae under the bench to play a joke on Nichol and Barbicane.
You sneaky devil, you.
Once on the moon, I would have set the animal free outside the shell without saying anything to my friends. What a shock they would have had when they saw this terrestrial poultry perched on some lunar peak.
Yeah.
Rooster, my friend,
That would happen.
I see you got loose of the string got attached to your foot. Very good. There's no longer any reason for you to stay hidden since we're all alone on board.
That's nice.
A piece of paper ripped up and burned.
The rifle shot scares the rooster that Michel Ardan had hidden in the shell. The frightened animal rips with his claws part of the letter Barbicane has in his hand. The paper catches fire when the frantic movements of the bird carry it above the gas burner.
Can of potassium hydroxide.
What do you know? Traces on the glasses show that Barbicane and Nichol served themselves a drink.
Barbicane
Nice.
and Nichol toast each other.
Judging by the smell of it, this glass contains some very fine wine.
Don't get any ideas. You still need to land on the moon.
I'd better not touch this glass. I can smell a suspect bitterness mixed with the bouquet of the wine. I feel
Cyanide.
as though I were drunk, even if I've drunk nothing at all. This really isn't a good time for this. I've got to get hold of myself. Ooh, my head is heavy. I feel as if I've had too much to drink. I'm pretty sure I was giddy because the air was too rich in oxygen.
Well, if you can think of a better reason, let me know. Cyanide.
This bottle contains a disinfectant lotion made with cyanide. It has that odor of bitter almond that's so characteristic of this poison. This wine is surely excellent, but the death of my companions has also killed off my desire to drink. Maybe I'll allow myself a glass once I've landed on the surface of the moon. Should I search in the papers of my friend? It's indiscreet, but maybe I'll find clues. This is Nickel's wallet. What's it contain that's interesting? Ah, so this is what a love letter looks like. Ooh. My valiant captain. If you wanted, yes, if you so desired, we could leave together for that destination which fills my every thought. The letter is signed Diana.
Diana. Spicy.
What, sir?
Whoopsie.
I will not seek any other excuse for my behavior than my passionate desire to visit the moon and to meet its inhabitants, who I know for a fact exist. When it turned out that such a journey was possible, I would have given my all to participate. Nothing else was important in my eyes. Yes, I dreamed that you would love me and that I would go with you to the moon. When I realized this was an illusion, I tried, out of spite, to seduce Captain Nickel. I wanted him to hide me in the shell, a stowaway. But Nickel proved as stubborn as you, and I was left alone with nothing but my shame. I do hope that you will pardon me, and beg of you to keep this confession secret, as it would utterly destroy my reputation were it to fall into the wrong hands. Farewell, sir. And when you are on the moon, please